Hey there, it's Elizabeth, and welcome back. Welcome back me too. Today, by the title, as you've seen by the title of this video, it is going to be a life update and a public service announcement. So, we will not be talking about journals today. We will instead be talking about a very serious subject involving my son. Yes, there it is. There it is. So, this is what has been going on in our family over the last month. It's a very touchy subject. It's a very serious subject. And yeah, so I wanted to share it with you all, share my son's journey, actually, as well as, the journey our family has been on for the last month. I did ask his permission, and he gave me his permission to share his story, which of course is ongoing as we speak. But I wanted to share with you some important information about testicular cancer and my son's story and what's going on with it all. And yeah. So, about excuse me, there's Fred. About at the end of June, I'll start with the beginning of a story. It all went very quickly, and I also want to say thank you. Thank you so much for all of your thoughts and prayers for my son. We really, really do appreciate them all. We covet them all, and from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much for your thoughts and prayers. Not only do I want to share with you his journey through testicular cancer as it's going right now, but I also wanted to share with you what a rock star he is. Yes, he is a rock star. He is one of my heroes. So, about at the end of June, my son went to my husband and expressed to my husband that there was something going on, with his body. And my husband, of course, told him, okay, you need to see a doctor right away. And so I made an appointment for him, and he went to the doctor, our regular GP. And my husband went with him, and at the GP's office, they sent him for an immediate ultrasound for the following day. And from there, well, I want to mention too that, and I've told my son, my husband has told our son, that we are so thankful and grateful that our son, both of our kids really, share a lot with us, and they're not embarrassed or ashamed or anything. They come to us with, not every little thing, of course, because that's how kids are. But I'm so thankful that my son was comfortable enough in his relationship with his dad to go to him and tell him what was going on. Hey dad, something is not right with my body. What do I do? So that's first and foremost what I'm most grateful for. And, grateful that he felt comfortable enough and that we have that sort of relationship with our children. And so then following along in the story, this all went super quickly. Okay. He was seen by doctors, diagnosed, and had surgery, in less than a week. Okay. So he went in to see the GP on a Wednesday. He had the ultrasound on Thursday. He went to a urologist on Friday. And on Friday, we got the diagnosis that no parent ever wants to hear, which is your son has cancer. So that day, we scheduled the surgery for the following Monday. And then that following Monday, my son had surgery. The surgery went very well. And we were actually able to take him home that day. And we thought that he might have to stay overnight, but he ended up doing so well that we were able to take him home, which was wonderful. And so he came home, and so he was home from work on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, recovering from his surgery, which was kind of like, like a major surgery. You know what I'm saying? And but here's where the rock star part comes in, right? So Thursday, my son went back to work. Yes, 2 days after surgery, he was back at work. And he went back to work. He had a test that week at the end of the week, and of course he had missed 3 days of instruction, so he could not, he wasn't in class for instruction, in other words, right? So Thursday, when he went back into work, he was studying all day Thursday, and then Friday his instructor said, well, if you do well enough on the quiz, you can go ahead and take the final. And so on Friday, he went back into work, and he was able to take the test. And when I spoke to him that afternoon on his way home, I said, oh, how'd you do on the test? He said, well, I got 100. And I was like, of course you did. Of course you got 100. What was I thinking? So yeah, first rock star point. Then the following week on Tuesday, so a week and a day after his surgery, we went back up to the doctor for the post-surgical. I'm leaving this here so you can read information about testicular cancer, by the way. I'll go over it at the end of the video. So the following Tuesday, a week and a day later, we had the surgical follow-up. All was well. And then we went to see the oncologist for the first time. Again, something no parent ever wants to do with their child is go to an oncologist. So we went to the oncologist. My son needed some lab work done, and he also needed a CT scan. So, the oncology appointment really didn't get us anywhere. It didn't tell us really anything other than his tumor markers were coming down after the surgery, after the removal of the mass. And so that was good news. But we still didn't know at that time if he needed chemotherapy or not. And, excuse me, from what I understand, from what the doctor told us, the chemo treatment for this particular type of cancer is very aggressive, and it's very difficult, and it lasts about 3 months. And the doctor told my son, you're going to think you're not going to make it, but you will. So that was of course, a stab in the heart, and hoping and praying that my son doesn't need chemotherapy after all. But as of today, I'm filming this, we still don't know. I'll get into that in a minute. So back to the rock star part. Okay, so we go to that appointment, and we then scheduled a CT for the following week or whatever. And so then we took my son that day, a week and a day after his surgery. We took him to the airport. He hopped on a plane bound for Chicago to meet up with a bunch of online gaming friends. About 6 of them, I think. And so he had this trip planned, and I was a bit worried, of course, I'm the mom, and I was like, I don't know, should he be flying? Should he be doing this on his own? He's going to, a city he's never been to before. He's flying on a plane that, he's never done alone before. Of course, my son is 21, right? But he's still my baby, okay? He's still my baby. And my husband was like, no, honey, he needs to go. He needs to go. We cleared it with his doctors and all of that stuff. And even the oncologist said, well, I hope you're going somewhere fun. Go have a good time, So he hopped a plane and went to Chicago for 5 days, had a blast with his friends. And then the following week, so rock star point number 2, right? So then the following week, when he got home that weekend, that next week, he signed the papers, the closing papers, to a new townhouse that he had purchased. So rock star point number 3. So my son is the proud new homeowner of a townhouse. And so that is where I have been for the last month. I have not really been on social media all that much. We've been going to and fro from doctor's appointments, blood work, lab work, CT scans, surgery, you name it. So let's talk about testicular cancer. Okay. These bracelets right here, and I have mine. on my wrist, if you can see it. I have it going the opposite direction. It says, love your balls. Yep. And it is from I know it's upside down. It's from the Testicular Cancer Foundation. And my husband ordered them. I have it facing that way, of course, so that when people read it, they can read it. Now, here, you've been looking at this the whole video, but I'll just go over it with you. Testicular cancer is the most common cancer in males from age 15 to 34. I had no idea. Okay? But this is a type of cancer, of course, that, nobody talks about. Nobody wants to talk about it because it's a touchy subject and it's a touchy situation, And when I asked my son, do you mind if I share your story? And, he knew. I let him know that y'all were praying for him and sending good thoughts and all that, and he really appreciated it. And so when I asked him if I could do an update on what was going on and let y'all know where I've been and part of his story, he said, sure. He said, I'm not embarrassed. I'm not ashamed, Mom. I have cancer. It doesn't matter what kind of cancer it is. The fact still remains, I have cancer. And he also said, at that time as well, I then told him again how much I appreciated the fact that he's so close with my husband and myself that he was comfortable enough to let us know and not just let it go. Because you'd be surprised, okay? You'd be surprised. A lot of men aren't going to discuss their package with their mom or their dad, young men especially. And, so it was very important. And it's also very important for the survival rate of this particular cancer to have early detection, okay? To have early detection. Now, it's the most common cancer in males from age 15 to 34, right? One male is diagnosed every hour, okay? Every hour. And one male, sadly, dies a day from this type of cancer. But when detected early, 99% of guys diagnosed survive. All it takes is a simple monthly self-exam. And so I know I'm speaking to a lot of ladies here, okay? And we as women are to give ourselves breast exams every month, okay? Well, it's the same with dudes, only they need to check their testicles, right? Do a monthly self-exam. So this public service announcement is coming to you if you have sons, if you have husbands, if you have grandsons, if you have nephews, okay? Make sure that they know about this type of cancer because one of the things the GP said to my son was, because of course my son's only 21, and so he told my son, he said, this is the most common form of cancer that men will get, and we hopefully detected it early enough. My son has since had his CT scans and his torso, lymph nodes and all that they were all clear. So praise the Lord for that. He continues to get blood work about every 2 weeks to check his tumor markers, which are going down at a good rate. And one of his oncologist did say the words, quote unquote, you might not even need chemo. So that's good news, but it's ongoing. He still has cancer, and we are making sure that he gets his blood work when he needs it and gets any scans that he needs and all of that. So my son, if you're wondering, obviously, because I went through the 3 points of a rock star. Okay. So yeah, in about 3 weeks time. Okay. My son was diagnosed with cancer, had surgery, and then went to Chicago for a 5-day vacation with his online buddies, gaming buddies, which was a blast, and he had a great time, and closed on his first home. So, he continues to keep on keeping on, right? And I'm so proud of him for that, and he is in really good spirits, and he continues to go to work every day, continues to hang out with his buddies, continues to go on with life. And yeah, and so I wanted to come on to give you a life update, to give you a public service announcement for any one of you that have men in your lives. Okay, testicular cancer is not something that is just like, it doesn't just roll off your tongue in a conversation. You know what I'm saying? So, as a good friend of mine would say, in summary, okay, protect your package. Get those thumbs on your plums. Man up and check them. Grab your gonads. Yep. Do all those things if you have men and boys in your life, because it could save their life. So it's so important to get awareness out there. That's what I'm trying to do with this video. I will, of course, keep you updated and posted on my son's progress. And I'm going to go ahead and put the testicularcancerfoundation.org website address in the description box below. And I really hope that, this was informative for testicular cancer #1. And yeah, I just wanted to come on, do an update about where I've been. I, continue to look after my family, take care of my kids and my husband. Haven't been in the art room for a long time. As you can see, I've been dealing with other issues. But prayer is such an important part of my life. I'm a faith-filled person, and I know that the Lord's will be done. And whatever his will is I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. And we're going to get through this, together as a family, and we're going to get through this, with the Lord's strength. So, yeah, I think that's all I have to say about this. But it's very important to get awareness out there, and that's what I want to do. So, yeah, I'm really not going to say I hope you enjoyed this video because, it is what it is. It is what it is. But like I said, we're getting through it as a family. We're supporting each other. We have each other's backs. And yeah, we're going to get through this either which way. And so if this can help any of y'all out there, that's what my hope is for. That is my hope, that this information you share with the men in your lives, with the young men in your lives, or with the older men in your lives, because it can come anywhere from infancy to adulthood and older age as well. But the most common cancer in males from the ages of 15 to 34. My son is 21. So I will end it here, okay? And again, don't forget, protect your package. Get those thumbs on your plums. Man up and check them. Grab your gonads, all right? Do it. It can save a life, okay? It can save a life of the one that you love. So that is all for now, and I hope to see you all again real soon. Thank you for sharing your time with me. Thank you so much for your prayers, your encouragement, and your thoughts. And I will catch you again real soon. Bye.